Talking about cyber inequity over here, it's essentially a measure of how certain organizations are more resilient as compared to others who are struggling. So what we've observed is that we measure around 3 parameters where we ask organizations to self-report whether they consider themselves as resilient, as conforming with minimum cyber resilience, or are not cyber resilient. So what we've seen over the past 3 years is that this minimum viable cyber resilience, we used to have a healthy chunk of companies, roughly about 67% in that bracket. Right. And that's shrunk to around 30%. So that's huge because, so what it means is that a lot of the larger organizations that have the possibility to invest in cyber resilience are continuing to do so and are doing well. Their cyber resilience is getting better. The smaller organizations, SMEs in particular, which are, I think the bulk of any economy, are not able to do so, and I think that's shrinking. So that's, I think, one of the big challenges that we are seeing in the report.
I won't use the word tensions, but the situations which are like constantly evolving across the world. It was feared or it was believed that it will lead to, because we are in a new era of, the cyber warfare and generative AI and all of that will add to the new dimensions of war. I don't know how much that fear has actually translated in reality, but the fact remains that we are in an era of conflict and there are various small or large conflicts going on around the world. What is your assessment in terms of actual threat of something like, cyber warfare versus the perception or the belief that people have?
So, on the one hand, of course, it is widely acknowledged by a lot of experts that cyber is the 5th dimension, as they say, So it's air, land, sea, space, and then cyber, right? If we look at the crisis in Ukraine, there were a lot of fears about a fallout in the cyber realm. It's extremely fortunate that we did not experience the fallout to the extent that people were fearing, right? But at the same time, if we take one particular incident, that was the Viasat incident that took place, there was collateral damage. And there were wind farms in Germany that stopped working as a consequence because they were relying on the same communications infrastructure that was targeted. Right? So the interesting element is that unlike other forms, cyber is not restricted by borders. Right. So we've seen it over and over that there might be one particular target, but then, there are cascading effects that can go to pretty much any corner of the world. Right. So what does it mean? To an average organization, the incident, when it takes place, it's indistinguishable. It could be cyber criminal activity. It could be more of an attack, as it may be. But at the same time, it's really important for us to be focusing on some of the fundamentals. What is it that we can do? Attribution is extremely hard. And honestly, what is an organization going to achieve by that? Eventually, when your systems have been affected, there is operational disruption. By the way, when we asked people what they fear, they said that operational disruption due to a cyber attack is one of the biggest fears at a global level. So that's huge. So if your operations have been disrupted, how quickly can you understand and make sense of the problem and bounce back from it? That's what is really important in today's day and age.